somebody definitely was, yeah, that is a beautiful connection. Hi everyone, I hope you were able to catch our live earlier today where we dismantled this core. This is what we thought was an LT1 core, and as it turns out, when we got everything taken apart and checked all of the casting numbers and everything, this is actually an L99. So the L99 was made exclusively for the Chevy Caprices in 1994 to 1996, and it was only available in the Caprice and the Caprice Police Package option. So this is a 4.3 liter V8 option, and internally this engine is identical to the LT1 engine. It uses that same reverse flow cooling system. It has a water pump driven by the cam, and it utilizes the OptiSpark that everybody hates so much. So this engine has the same bore as a 305, however the stroke is much shorter. So the stroke in a 305 is 3.48 and the stroke on this is 3 inches. So they did use longer rods to compensate for that. So I will pop up a little clip from when we took this thing apart, but basically we knew right away it would be pretty interesting to take apart because here is the oil pan. So as you can see, we knew before we even got into it that something shot through the oil pan. We were taking bets on what it was. Here's marks from something flying around inside of there. So I will pop up a little clip of when we actually lifted the oil pan off, and you can see broken pieces of what was once a connecting rod. So here's pieces of 2 connecting rods. Here is the corresponding pistons, and as you can see, one rod is pretty much completely gone, and this one is gone for the most part. We also had pieces of the bearings everywhere inside of here. So here is the inside of the block. So right there you can see a big chunk of metal taken out, a couple marks right here. And if you look down in that cylinder, I'm gonna try to get focused. So right there you can see some scoring on the inside of the cylinder wall. Same thing we've got, you know, over here. Got the crank here, and I'm just gonna show you. So these right here are the counterweights. We've got 3 here and we've got 3 up there. And you can see that this middle portion is sort of left without counterweights. So what that means is that when you do get really high up in RPMs, there's a lot of vibration happening here in the middle. And what ended up happening to this one is that it wasn't able to control the vibration and basically spun a bearing, which is what completely rocketed those connecting rods to pieces. And those pieces, of course, were, you know, rattling around inside the block there for a bit. So this is a very extreme example of what like spinning a bearing would look like. So just some interesting damage. The cylinder heads actually looked pretty good, but if any of you have any experience with the L99, certainly let me know.